Hello, Facebook. How are you guys doing today? This is Dana Taylor Bell coming to you from Sacramento, California. And I just want to share some information with you. I felt led to pass along this information because in the past couple of weeks, I have gotten information and have been personally affected by people not staying hydrated. And I know it's the end of the summer, and over here on the East Coast, I don't know, I think it was probably about 80 degrees here in Sacramento. So, we're past the summer months and it's not as hot, but we need to make sure that our bodies are hydrated. Hi, Lily. How are you? Hi, Trish. Thank you guys for joining me. If you could drop down in the comments where you're watching from. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you drop down #replay. Thanks, Gregory, for watching as well. And so I just want to share some information with you because probably about 3 or 4 months ago, a friend of mine shared with me that she got up in the middle of the night and passed out on the floor. Woke up the next morning, didn't know what had happened, ended up going to the doctor, and he told her she was dehydrated. And then I was at a function just last weekend, and there was a conversation going on at the table where I was having a good time watching a concert or listening to music and eating some good food. And I heard someone say that her husband had to be rushed to the hospital because he had symptoms of a heart attack. Come to find out, he was dehydrated. Thanks, Brent, for watching, and Mark, thanks so much. You guys drop in the comments where you're watching from. And so I just felt led to come to you all today and talk about hydrating your body. And the other thing that really personally touched me is that about a week ago, and I'm not going to mention any names or even say where this happened at, but a friend of mine was not feeling well. She said she was lightheaded and her face was really pale. I could see her hands were shaking a little bit. Thanks, Donna, for watching. And so I became really concerned. First thing I asked her is, hey, do you need me to call 911? She's like, no, Dana, don't call 911. I think that I really haven't eaten. Well, I had a smoothie earlier in the morning, and maybe it was too much sugar. So I sat there with her for a little while. She asked me to get her something to drink, so I gave her some water. And then probably about 15, 20 minutes later, she still wasn't feeling that great, and kept looking at her. I asked her a couple times, do you want me to call 911? No. So she started fanning herself. That's when I really became concerned because I know, and I am no doctor, have no medical background, but just reading information, I know that one of the symptoms, especially for women, is a heart attack is perspiring. And she wasn't perspiring. I looked at her face and, she wasn't perspiring at all. She just said that fanning herself made her feel better. And so she later said, you know what, maybe I just need some carbohydrates. I'm like, okay. Well, I asked somebody, hey, can you go get her some toast, a sandwich or something? So she started eating that and then kept asking me for water. And so I would say that after drinking 2 full bottles of water, she said, you know what, I'm starting to feel a little better. And so I stayed with her because I didn't want her left alone. She wanted to get up and go lay down somewhere. And I said, why don't you just stay here? You're seated. And we'll just keep giving you the water. If you want more to eat, we'll do that. But I don't want you to get up because she's telling me that she felt lightheaded. And I didn't want her to pass out, if she stood up. And so after about the 3rd bottle of water, she says, you know what, Dana, I'm feeling much better. I could tell the coloring was coming back. Her hands weren't shaking anymore. And then come to find out, she did go to the doctor. So I will tell you, you have those symptoms. Don't try to diagnose yourself. Thanks, Jasmine, for watching. And Autumn, Michelle, thanks so much. Ellen, you don't want to self-diagnose, but it turns out that, yes, she was dehydrated. So that was 3 times that I've either heard stories or have personally experienced someone being dehydrated. And so, again, I was prompted to do some research and come to you guys with some further information about drinking more water, keeping your body hydrated. And so I have some notes here because this information is very important. I want to make sure that I don't forget to tell you something. Hi, Lay. Thanks for watching. And those of you that just joined, if you could drop down in the comments where you're watching from, city and state, I really appreciate it. And again, if you're watching on the replay, hit #replay. So we've always heard we need to drink water, make sure we're staying hydrated. And people always ask, well, how much water should you drink? I've read in different places that you should drink half your weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150, you should drink 75 ounces of water. Thank you, Dave, for joining. So we need to make sure that we are staying hydrated on a daily basis. I've often heard it said as well, and in my research, so my sister is a PA, a physician's assistant, and she told me years ago, you know what, Dana? When you feel thirsty, you're already mildly dehydrated. So it is important to keep your body hydrated at all times. Even if you're not feeling thirsty, you need to just keep consuming water in order to make sure that your body doesn't go into that dehydration stage. Shalandra, thanks for joining. Sharma, hi Victoria. Guys, thanks for watching. Drop down in the comments where you're watching from. And so let me tell you some symptoms of being dehydrated. Mildly or moderate dehydration is you can experience muscle weakness, headaches, dry mouth, lightheadedness, and tiredness. Now, severe dehydration, shriveled or wrinkly and dry skin, irregular heartbeat, delirium, low blood sugar, and unconsciousness. And so not only, though, do we need to drink water. Thanks, Stephanie, for joining in. All right. Hi, Julie. So not only do we need to drink water, but we also need to replenish electrolytes. And that terminology is kind of new. And a lot of people say, well, what are electrolytes? You know what? All I used to drink was water, and I was fine. So now what is this new thing about replacing electrolytes? But you know, now, today, science is great, right? They've proven things and coming out with different studies to tell us more about how our bodies operate. Thanks, Frank, for joining in. And so electrolytes, the definition of electrolytes is an electrically charged ion that facilitates vital functions in the body. So it maintains a balance of fluid inside and outside of your cells. An increase in electrolytes within the cell increases the water within the cell. And conversely, a decrease in electrolytes causes water to flow out of the cells. So just with that information there, that lets you know that it's important to replace your electrolytes. Make sure your body is full of electrolytes so that your cells can continue to function the way that our bodies were made. So electrolytes, they promote muscle relaxation and contraction. It's essential for heart, nerve, and brain function. It also helps cells to create energy, and it helps in muscle function. So with that information, you know that they always say if you're an athlete, if you're out there and you're, running to the grind, especially in the heat, they want you to replace those electrolytes. Not only drink water, but they want you to replace those electrolytes. So that's where it's coming from, right? Because the electrolytes help athletes to be at their tip-top shape out there, especially football season out there. They're out there in all that gear and helmets. They could get overheated. So they want to make sure that they are fully hydrated and the electrolytes putting back into their body as well. So you have the famous aids that are out there, which are the Powerades, the Gatorades. And so I ran across an article, and I'm going to share with you just some information that I got out of the article. And it talked about, and actually, it actually cites their website. Gatorade is what I'm talking about. Thanks, Becky, for watching. I appreciate it. All right, thanks, Brett. I'm glad that this is some great information, and pass it along to the next person, okay? That's what I ask all of you to do. When you find great information, you come across great information, pass it on to the next person, okay? Because keep the knowledge to ourselves, it doesn't help our community. It's always great to be able to share information. But anyway, back to the subject of dehydration and replacing those electrolytes. So according to Gatorade's website, it says that Gatorade was born in the lab when researchers looked into why athletes were passing out and becoming ill during strenuous exercise, especially in heat. And the reason why is because they were losing electrolytes and they weren't replacing them. So that's how Gatorade came up with, oh, you know what, well, let's produce this drink and let's market it, all right? And so everyone has started drinking Gatorade, not just athletes, people who don't work out, children. I see children all the time drinking Gatorade. But here's another thing that the website said. Thanks, Richard, for watching. I appreciate it. Again, you guys, drop down in the comments where you're watching it from. City and state, all right? All right. Hey, Wes, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So some information about Gatorade. So a 20-ounce bottle of Gatorade contains 36 grams of sugar. That's 9 teaspoons of sugar. And if you think about it, man, would you put 9 teaspoons of sugar in a drink? I mean, literally take 9 teaspoons of sugar, stir it up, and drink it. To me, that's incredible. But they have found, so a study from UC Berkeley, and I'm sure many of you guys have heard of UC Berkeley, right? One of the predominant colleges here on the West Coast, but it's known far wide, worldwide. So UC Berkeley, they actually studied sports drinks, and they found out that the sports drinks, they are not for people who are not exercising. People who exercise less than 60 to 90 minutes a day, they really don't need to be drinking Gatorade. And here's the other thing, but now keep in mind as well, even for those athletes, 9 teaspoons of sugar. I'm going to keep repeating that, all right? 9 teaspoons of sugar in a 20-ounce bottle of Gatorade. But UC Berkeley, they also found that sports drinks are causing childhood obesity. It's causing tooth decay. The extra sugar and sodium is not recommended. In fact, it can also contribute to high blood pressure. And so Gatorade, it also contains food dyes. And we know that there's all type of studies out there about food dyes, right? They're linked to hyperactivity in children. Food dyes are linked to cancer. Food dyes is just, it's all bad. There's nothing good about them. Thanks, Carmen. Hi, how are you? Yes, Wes. Yeah, you don't put that much in your sweet tea, right? Thank you all for joining in. I really appreciate it. And again, if you haven't already, tell us where you're dialing in from. Give us your city and state. And so I'm going to wrap this up. But I want to tell you about a way to hydrate your body and introduce the electrolytes in your body through a natural product. And it has fewer calories. In fact, I'm going to show you here, right here. It's called Hydrate. Ripsticks Hydrate. It's all natural. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix some up for you so you can see. First of all, it comes in a pouch. Just rip the top off that pouch, and then you just add it to water. So I'm gonna add it to my water here. You guys like my little mason jar? I don't use very much plastic. Try not to use plastic. I mean, if I'm going out somewhere, of course, I don't want to drop glass, but I try to use as much glass as possible. So just added that to some water. Shake it up and drink it. You like that pink color? Well, that pink color, that's all from elderberries and beet, B-E-E-T, beet juice powder. Beets actually help to open your veins up, open your arteries as well. So there's more to it than just hydrating the body. But this drink here, 24 calories compared to some of those aids out there that are 100 calories, 240 calories. I'm gonna say it again, 9 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, so I thank you guys for watching. I hope that this information was helpful. And if you want more information about that hydrate, all right. And so it says hydrate frequently. So if you want more information about the hydrate, or just have any other questions for me, hit me up, send me a message. All right. And I thank you guys all for watching. You guys have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.